Hey everyone, welcome back to my Power Grid channel and Happy New Year from Josh the Funkdoc here. This is going to be a really strong 4-player game with a really expensive and tunnel-y map here. This is a tough one to build on. As you can see, there's a little bit of openness around this part, but mostly constricted, and especially as you get down further here. So I'm just going to put the 4 up for 8 and see what happens. I do think there's a chance Stein or Bode will bid 9 for it. So yes, we have jbode and psteinx, two of the absolute best Power Grid players, particularly multiplayer Power Grid players. Bode is also my eternal rival in 2-player, of course. And Stein has had some success in 2-player on my channel before. He's no slouch there either. But I would say these larger games are definitely his forte for sure. So Stein and Bode are about as big sharks as you're going to find on a BSW. And then Daroj is also a player who's won a good number of games on this channel. And Daroj will bid 6 for the 3 plant. I thought he would leave Stein to do that, but apparently not. Stein might bid 6 for this, actually, because building's tough here. Nah, he doesn't. Okay. I thought there was a chance Stein might put in an extra bid on the plant 5 there, just to ensure that you don't build last. As always with the 5, I'm going to buy my maximum coal, because I'm likely going to be high up in the turn order. Ooh, Stein goes for the 9, which I like. On Germany, I tend to like the 9 more because there's more incentive for earlier players to build 2 cities, and that gives the 9 a bigger turn order advantage for the second turn compared to the 8, which is what you would normally buy. And now we are trying to figure out how to handle this, because the Wishmaker just came in and wants to play. But the problem is some of us don't want to play 5-player. I know Stein is not a big fan of 5. I'm not really into 5 either, although, I mean, I'm fine with 5. It's just not my favorite. I think Stein and Bode are the two who I think really don't like 5. Bode builds in Würzburg, which makes a lot of sense because this means that he'll get a lot of Step 1 cities, because nobody else is going to build behind him in purple. Purple is like the death zone. Anyway, I think I have to build Hamburg and Lübeck here. I think it's what I have to do. Or, actually, knowing Stein... Yeah, I think I do this, though. Okay, Stein still takes Varen. Okay, So I'm happy. I'm happy I did the double build there. Otherwise, Stein would have cut me off from a lot of the cheapest cities. And plant 30 goes under the deck, which is a pretty big deal. Market could stall early on with 24 showing up so soon. It takes a while to get good, even in 4-player. Now 22, that's going to be a good one. I think I pass on this. Because 13 is a really good fit with the 5, since 5 can use either coal or oil. And by default, there's not guaranteed to be a plant that's 2 oil for 2 cities. The 12 can do that, but it's not guaranteed to show up. All right, 10 going for a surprisingly high price now. I mean, I get it, because most likely 24 is going to come on at the end of the auction, and one of these players is going to be stuck with having to buy the 8 or something. I will bid a little bit for the 13. I think because of this situation of what if 24 comes onto the market. And I will say I'm not going to be in the greatest position to win 22 due to having bought extra resources. Again, there's a decent number of duds that can block 22 here, so this is still worth some bidding, for sure. Speak of the devil. Stein might... Yeah, I was going to say, Stein's probably going to pass, because the 9 plant, it's okay to just run the 9 for a second turn. It's solid efficiency. Makes you good money by early game standards. So yeah, Stein should absolutely pass there and make Bode by the 8, probably. 8 would be the best for Bode, I think, because Bode gets to buy coal first. He can just stock up a bunch of cheap coal and build Fulda. That's the play for Bode here. Actually, no, yeah, Fulda. Fulda's still probably the play. So I think I crushed that auction there. I bodied that auction. In this situation, I'm not going to buy extra resources either, because I want to be in a position to win 22 next turn. So yeah, I think that's going to be the move for me. I'm preparing myself for next turn's auction, because 22 is going to be worth a good chunk of change, with 24 sitting there blocking it. I don't like to buy 24 until trash gets down to $4, and that's not going to happen for another 3 turns after this yet. This is interesting. I think I might, even though it'll cost me a spot in turn order, I might actually want to build Kiel now, perhaps. Because if I don't, Stein's going to jump there next turn. Right? No, but then Stein would actually jump Bremen, and I can't build. Nah, yeah, don't build. Don't build. Don't build. Bremen's probably more important for me than Kiel. So... I got 13 so cheap, man. I'm really happy. That 14 drop. Oh, God, and 19 now. This is the scenario here. So Stein obviously had to stay bottom so that he could safely buy a plant this turn in case something like this happened. In this situation, I suspect Stein's going to buy the 7. Everyone else will pass. Stein will buy the 7 because oil's so cheap right now, and Stein does need to build. Okay, Stein does not go for the 7. Interesting play. I should get decently priced resources here at least. Also, now, this turn, I will probably store extra resources. In retrospect, knowing that 22 got blocked in this turn, I should have stored extra last turn, but... there's going to be more of a fight for coal than for oil, yeah? So 3 coal, 1 oil, I think, is the buy here. It's definitely a good idea just to grab coal whenever it's cheap, as long as it doesn't hurt your builds or any other plans you have. Oh, Stein goes for that. Okay. The problem is Stein can still build before me in the next turn, so he's definitely going to jump into some of my territory here, for sure. So I do think I'm kind of forced to take Bremen now, which is not ideal. But it is what it is. And I think I might as well take Kiel as well. Yeah. Or how important is it for me to take Kiel? I'm going to be stuck at the top of the turn order now. That's for sure. Bode staying at 2 risks daroj jumping into Nuremberg here, which would hurt Bode's build a lot. But I don't think daroj is going to have that kind of money or be willing to make that move at this stage. I have to protect Bremen. Like, Bremen I had to build this turn. It's just a question of whether I want to protect Kiel as well. Probably not, right? Probably don't need to. Well, yeah. We'll see. I'll just do this now. Because one way or another, I suspect I should be able to power 4 cities on the next turn. This is a bit risky because 22 could maybe get blocked again. In which case, I'd have to buy the 7, and oil's not super cheap. So... Also, shout-outs to Stein landing the 69 combo there. That's actually one of my favorite starting plant combos for Italy in 2-player games. Not ideal on most other maps, though. Hey, well, I can at least buy this. And I guess I do have to buy this at this point. I'm kind of obliged to with me having... Yep, okay. Well, my problem was this. I would have been second from top in the turn order anyway, so it would have been tough for me to avoid buying 12 there. That is at least better than the 7. Now, 15 or 16 would have been a hell of a lot better for me right now. $22 is going for about as high a price as I've seen for it in a long time. It makes sense, though, because this market's all so bad right now. It's almost nothing but trash plants with Stein buying the 6. That makes trash even slower to get good. Bode, I think, might buy the 7 here. Because, like, Bode... Yeah, okay. Oh, wow. Bode actually buys 24. Kind of surprising. I didn't really expect that. So at least my turn worked out. It worked out better than it could have, I'll just say. Also, I forgot to mark 14 off there. We know 50's going under the deck this turn for sure. think I store 1 extra coal here, right? 1 extra coal is fine. Yeah, this is fine. Just store the max now because I'm still going to be high up in the turn order. Well, I guess not, actually. Maybe you didn't need to do that. I guess I should have expected Bode to... Bode was obviously going to build to 4 if he bought 24. Yeah, so I'm second from bottom now. Interesting. I'm going to keep my coal and oil balanced here. So Stein's going to get 15 here, because I think we're all just... Oh, especially with 21 dropping, too. 21, that's even better than 27, probably. And I'm obviously not going to drop 21 for Stein, so he has to take 15 here. Obvious call. So I have no reason to store extra resources here. Yeah. Plus, I guess storing the extra wasn't too bad since Stein, Stein had both fossil fuels on his plants. And Stein will go above me this turn, for sure. So I'm going to drop to bottom in the turn order here. There's no real great benefit to anyone else jumping into my territory now. So I do have the option of building 7 to break the stall if needed. Definitely not going to be happening yet. Although, 17 dropped too, that sucks. Call me crazy. I think that might actually be the move for me, though. Because I can definitely afford it. Which means I maybe should have stored a little extra, but I do think the incentive is on me to move the market at this point. Daroj is winning the stall, I think, because of the 10 and 22 combo. That's working out really well right now. So I do think, because I can clear 2 bad plants out of the market this way. So I think this will be my move. This should be guaranteed to get 21 onto the market. Yeah. Plus, this way, people won't have a lot of money to block my builds at this stage. So I want to trigger step 3 as early as I can. So 7 gets built out, and then the next lowest plant is going to be removed as well, which will be 14. That's going to get replaced at the end of this turn, since step 2, triggering step 2 removes the lowest plant in the market. Stein and Bode just kind of killing each other with trash there. Daroj paid a lot of money for 22, but it's paid off for sure. Daroj getting Hanover is also really important for step 2 expansion. Good build on his part. Hurts me a good deal. Hanover gives you a good number of connection options here. So Bode has to decide whether he wants to build or not, because he can build 1 or 2 cities and still stay second from top in the turn order, just only below me. But the thing is, nobody else is going to be a threat to build into these purple cities that Bode could take now, so I think Bode's move is correct not to build. Bode wants to save money for builds and try to expand eastward and northward if at all possible. You can focus on purple later, because nobody else is going to get into purple before Bode does. That's his situation here. So 39, right? I'll put 21 up for bid rather than 20. Especially on Germany, this is what I like to go for. '21's a better fit with my other plants, too. I can run, 21, 12, and the 13 and power exactly 7 cities, which is what I have this turn. Bode passes instantly on 21, which makes sense. I think Bode would rather... Bode doesn't want to go for 2-4 plants at this point. Stein knows to bid on 21, though. I agree with this. Because oil, we haven't seen 26 yet, so oil could stay really cheap, this whole game. Well, speak of the devil, so much for cheap oil. Oh well, I still don't regret this. This is going to go into the 40s for sure. Which makes me feel like I got a decent value on 21. I really feel like I got a decent value on 21. Because this is going to the stage where I'm not sure I could afford 2 oil had I won this plant with the money that I had. There's 46, so we know that's going to be the next plant under the deck. And 20, obviously, is the next one to go up for bid. 5 capacity matters a lot versus 3, so 20 is still a better plant than 27, especially with 20 being a much lower number. Better for turn order tiebreakers. Ooh, Bode gets 20 at cost. Interesting. Stein willing to go for 27, it looks like. Sticking to his green strats. Whoa! Interesting call. Stein buys 18 over 27. I did not see that coming. I see what he's going for, though. He wants to keep a low turn order tiebreaker. That's what he's trying there, I think. So we know that Stein should be buying 2 coal here. Yep. And Stein's not going to buy any extra oil because 9 will be the next plant he replaces. So you don't want to leave any extra oil on there that could be wasted if you have to replace it with a non-oil plant. Now I have to decide. I think I have to attack oil, though, right? 20 went awfully cheap, though. 20 went cheap, coal still real cheap. I do think I mix coal and oil at this point. That's my hunch. Definitely buy the $4 coal, the $2 oil. That part's obvious. It's just what else do I buy? All the $3 oil sounds good. Yeah. I think we do it this way, so that we can keep 2 coal for next turn. My hope is that nobody else makes this shit. Well, no, because they're still going to stay below me, yeah. I could have maybe afforded Schwerin if I didn't store extra resources, but I think I'd rather store extra the way these plants are looking. Because other players can't afford to store extra. Daroj goes for Magdeburg, which makes a lot of sense from his position. Dresden is an interesting call. That must mean Daroj didn't have the money to go into Fulda or Berlin. Either of those would have been much more valuable, especially Fulda. My problem here is I'm probably going to get blocked because I'll still be stuck at the top of the turn order for next turn. And Bode jumps into the other twin, which makes sense. Bode needs some kind of connection here in order to expand for the future. I'm just going to burn all oil at this point and hold on to the coal for later. Because we do see 31 lurking in the market, and 25 is still most likely to come at some point. So I want the extra coal in case that comes on. It'll put me in a much better position to win that plant. So now I have to decide on this. I think Daroj can't afford to buy a plant. Daroj still needs to build in order to use up the coal on the 10. And, you know, Daroj, after paying so much money for 22 and 26, Daroj has to make that up. So, if I pass, Daroj won't buy a plant. Stein will. So what happens here is this. Stein is going to buy a 4, and then Bode can't afford to buy a plant. Bode will want to use both 20 and 24 this turn, I think. So I think the play for me is to pass, actually. Stein's going to buy 28. Obvious play for him here. He needs to buy 28, replace the 18, because Stein needs some kind of endgame plant going into step 3. And a 4 capacity plant is potentially an endgame plant. You can go for 4, 6, 7. That's a very reasonable way to reach 17 capacity, power 17 cities, which is the number you need to end the game. This is interesting. Bode might actually have to pass on this. See, I spoke about 25 most likely coming, and it did. But this is a spot now where Bode won't want to buy it, I think. With Bode having a 20 earlier, that'll put him in a really bad spot with 2 big coal guzzlers like that. And also, he needs to build this turn is what he needs to do. He needs to use the 20 and 24 and try to make up his earlier money deficit. See, I feel like I'm doing the best out of money from among all these players. Like, I was doing the best on money, but builds getting blocked could be a problem for me this turn. So we'll have to see. I think Bode's most likely going to just go through purple. He could go Berlin, though. Bode could go for, like, Berlin, Frankfurt, this stuff. The nice thing is, at the very least, I should be able to jump into Rostock. I expect Schwerin to be blocked this turn, but I'm expecting to go to the bottom of the turn order after this. Bode's taking a lot of time to think here, but I think, yeah, Bode makes the correct decision. I think passing on 25 there, even with coal this cheap, is the correct play for Bode. Because Bode already has another endgame coal plant. You don't want to be stuck having to burn 5 coal in a turn for the endgame. Even though coal's cheap now, it's not going to stay that way come step 3. And then Bode has a money deficit, and he needs to build in order to make that up right now. He needs to focus on actually using that 24. Now that there's no other trash plant in the game, trash will actually get cheaper each turn. I'm just going to gobble up more oil again and just burn 4 oil this turn. I think that's the play here. Because Daroj is still, like, I think my toughest competitor in this game right now. So I think it's on me to attack oil. And Bode goes into Berlin. Okay, not a surprise there. That's all he can afford, though. Yeah, I think Bode's already lost in this game. And Stein makes those builds. Stein does not go for yellow, which is what I expected out of him. So Daroj gets yellow for sure now. This is okay. This is okay, though. Because I'm going to go to bottom in the turn order for next turn. And that means I can still get Hanover and Rostock, which would be okay. Oh no, Bode went for... Never mind. Berlin-Schwerin is what Bode went for. Interesting play. Daroj does not build. Interesting. So I'm not going to get bottom for next turn. Close, but I won't quite be bottom. I'm still going to hold on to this coal, though. Stein can't afford 9 cities, which is interesting. Speaks to his earlier game deficit, having to buy this, sticking with 69 for so long there in the early game. Not making a lot of money that way. I missed 37 there. Dang. All right. 2, 3, 4. So 4 more plants left to go after this. I'm obviously going to bid for 25. Now, it's not the greatest fit for me because I won't have the most money to build and expand here. Still needs to go for a good amount of money, though. Okay. I will take that result. Stein obviously passes. I think Bode has to pass too. Yeah. Daroj buys... Well, and this is sad now. Daroj cannot even buy 27 because he has coal stuck on the 10. So he just has to build this turn. Yeah. So I face a decision now. I should be able to get to 9 cities comfortably, at least fairly so. It's on me to store coal now, I think, above oil at this stage. Because I already have 2 oil I can burn this turn. It's just time for me to gobble up coal while it's still cheap. Because now with 25 and 20 in the game, and especially a 15, Stein still has to run 15 this turn too. So yeah, coal's not going to stay cheap very long. So I think this is the correct play for me. I'll burn I still have 2 oil I can burn on 21 this turn. And then just go from there. I got a decent value on my plants, I gotta say. That 11 coming was fantastic for me. Because now at this stage, I easily have the best plants of anybody. And it's going to stay that way for another turn or 2 at least. Yeah. I think Daroj needs to expand into yellow. No, he's going to build into my shit. Which I don't mind either. I would actually rather have that. Yep. Oh, he does build into that. Okay. Well, I go Hanover for sure. That gives me a bunch of connections for later. Here's the question. We go to Rostock. Now here's the question. Do I build my 10th city or not? I at least stay below Daroj there, so there is some benefit. Like, I can still do that. Yeah. I can still stay below Daroj, so that's a reasonable option. All right. Yeah, I think I have to do it. Or do I? Or do I? See, my thinking is if I stay at 9, Stein will stay at 8. Still be able to block my shit anyway. I don't know. I think I do this. I think I need to press my money advantage here. Get the most out of my plants at this stage. Because of me building a 9, Bode was still going to stay below me. Having the lower numbered plant, 24 versus 25. Stein stays at 8 anyway. Okay. I'm fine with going to 10 then. It ended up that 9 versus 10 wasn't going to make a difference in turn order anyway. So I make more money this with 10. I actually get to use my 13 again, which is good news. Also, I gotta say, Plant 12 was a low-key champ in that game. I'm surprised how long that thing stayed profitable. That's because of other players getting into trash so early and there being good green plants early. That's clearly the reason. Well. I think there's one more plant after this than step 3. Daroj buying 29, I don't agree with that at this stage. I strongly disagree with it. Why? Because step 3 is going to come this turn or next turn. Bode has no reason to buy a plant. None of these players do at this point. 27's not really going to provide much more of a benefit than 15 for Stein. Or benefit over 18. Stein doesn't have a reason to buy any of these either. Yeah, correct play. Like, the map is blocked enough that I don't think we have to worry about Daroj ending the game just yet. The key thing is just making sure that I'm not at the top of the turn order, because that means I can get some kind of builds come step 3. Likely won't be the greatest builds, but I can get some builds. Actually, I can get, like, Berlin and all that, at least. Yeah, I can get, I can at least get, like, Berlin, Frankfurt. Although I'll probably be blocked from the Twins. So, it'll be tough sledding, but anyway. I'm definitely buying 2 oil here. Yeah, I'm definitely buying 4 oil there. And I don't need to buy coal. Yeah. This sounds like the move for me. Because, yeah, Daroj is still, I think, the favorite in this game. It's Daroj and I think, are clearly in the two best positions of anybody. Bode, I think, is dead already. And Stein is still lurking as a threat, although he's not as rich as he usually is at this stage with his low-capacity strategies. Because he had bad plants early on. So I think it's down to me and Daroj. And my turn order gives me a significant advantage over him for step 3 builds. He can expand through the south now, though, which is probably his play. Yeah. Not storing extra resources is a mistake for Daroj, though. Because of step 3 coming next turn, we could get a lot more oil into the game. Okay. 40 under the deck. This makes the market a little tricky now. 31 is not a good plant here. Not at all. So we have to bid for 32 and bid decently. 31 should be safe for me, though. But then again, with me, I really don't want to end up with 25 and 31. All right, let's see what this market looks like. Not that many big duds here. Really just, like, 44, 37, 36 are the only bad ones for me. This is still worth some bidding, though. Stein, I think, is clearly going to pass on this. Stein has no reason to bid for 32. Yeah. Okay, well, that's one of the bad plants for me. I did not want to end up with coal here. This should get some bidding, though. Like, this is a plant that Stein really wants. Because Stein's at the bottom of the turn order, he can store a bunch of coal, and he needs a 7 plant to have a chance in this game. So yeah, this is going to be fought for pretty heavily, which is going to make me very happy with my 32, I will say. Again, Daroj made a big mistake not storing extra oil on the previous turn. And will pay for that now. Yep, the price for this plant makes me very pleased right now. Wow, Daroj is fucked now. He might have to buy 34 here, actually. Like, coal is not going to be safe for him. Look at this. 36, 20, 25, all below him. Even 21 could contribute to the coal buyout. I think Daroj has to buy 34 here and hope to get a 7 plant on the next turn. I think it's about the only way this is going to happen. Very pleased with what I did in this auction. Bode landed a monster, though. Although, with him having 24, it's not the greatest thing. He could just replace 24 with 30, though. That's actually a very reasonable play. Oh, 38 came after. Well, Daroj has a chance next turn. There's no more, like, coal plants in the game at this point. I mean, technically 46, but you don't need 46 as a hybrid plant. I'm not going to buy 31 next turn, that's for sure. There's too many other good plants. We still have 39, 40, 50, 46 all in the market. This is too good. So here's the deal. Like, one of us is going to have to build to 14, or 15 in my case, or else Daroj can end and just win the game. And Stein doesn't have... Stein is just straight up less capacity than Daroj, so... So it's going to be up to one of us, Bode or me. One of us will need to build to at least 14 to stop Daroj from winning this turn. Once we do that, I really like my chances come next turn. Actually, I see what Bode is going for here, come to think of it. Bode is just going to commit to all trash and run 30 and 24 together this turn and not run the 20. The more I think about it, yeah, that makes a lot more sense than replacing 24. Because it's not exactly cheap to run 30 and 24 together, but it's very, very safe, and it's a lot cheaper than burning coal right now. My plan here is, I think I'm going to stay... I want to stay at 10 cities. Although, Daroj could fuck me over on builds if that were to happen. Plus, I might have to build anyway. But regardless, I think what I want to do here is not run the 25. Bode buying 2 coal is interesting. Yeah, I think I just do it this way. Since 21 is going to get replaced next turn, I only need 1 turn worth of oil on that, but I do need my 2 turns worth of oil on 32 for sure. Plus, make things more painful for Daroj. It is kind of interesting that Stein didn't buy an extra uranium there, since he's clearly going to keep 28 next turn. But Daroj doesn't store extra uranium either, so it's whatever. So now it's up to Bode. I don't know why Bode got 4 coal on the 20. That's weird. Not quite sure what that's about, since... Yeah, I don't know. If Bode doesn't take Erfurt, I will be a very happy man here. I have to take Schwerin, though. Schwerin is a must, since that's cheap. I mean, there is pressure on Bode to build into the cheap north here. That's the thing. Yep. That looks like that's what he's doing. If he leaves Erfurt open for me, I'll be really happy. Because I do have this little direct connection here from Hanover to Erfurt. That's surprisingly useful. As painful as it looks. It's going to do a lot of work for me, I think. If I can get into Magdeburg, that makes my path into Erfurt slightly cheaper compared to Hanover, though. Bode's likely having internet problems, which is why he's just logged off and is probably going to come back in. That can happen sometimes. Bode's in China, I know that, so... No telling what the internet there is going to do at any time. Okay, he takes Erfurt. Well, there goes that plan. Okay. Here's what I do. We know we do this. You know we do this for sure. I may not be as far ahead of Bode as I thought, to be honest. The nice thing is, here's what I can do. I can actually build, let me see how much I can build here. I can build to 13 and stay below everybody else here. Interesting. Which means I think I take these two. Yeah, I think that's my play. Because Bode already made the sacrifice of building to 15, so Daroj can end the game now. So I think I just take these two. Block Daroj as much as possible. Yeah. Yeah, I think turn order is just going to be too big of an advantage here. I'm guaranteed to stay bottom now, which means that next turn I'll be able to jump over into here. Did not expect to get bottom in the turn order, though. Let me think about this. Because there are 2 plants left that can use oil. I'm guaranteed to get one of them, which means I think here the play for me would actually be to burn the... No, I don't think so. Yeah. Let me think about this. Let me think about this now. Make a little extra money if I buy another oil plant. If I can get 40 or 46 on the next turn, but then is that worth it versus keeping my options open is the question. I think I'll do this. I'll also keep it safe. I make an extra $7 if I burn the coal, but the problem is that oil could potentially be wasted depending on the plant I end up with. Like, I cannot credibly bid for 38, knowing that I have to waste oil. So now I have a decision to make here. Builds for me are not going to be cheap at this point. I think what I do is I need to plot out my 4 cheapest builds left. They ain't going to be very cheap at all. Spoilers. All right. You know what's sad? I'm not even going to be able to end it next turn. This is really sad. Hold on here. Let me think about this. Yeah, holy shit, no. Let me think. Let me think. Wow, this is actually really bad. Bode might win this. So now I think the play for me is bid for a 7 plant, because I can't end the game on this turn. This is actually bad. I really thought I was winning this game. But getting blocked out of all of the twins in Erfurt is just too much for me, I guess. So I need to think here. If I thought about this further, I could have burned the coal and then just bought 40 and ended it. That would have been my play here. Problem is, Bode's just going to win, because Bode gets the cheap cities, and, you know, Bode still has a couple cheap cities left in the south. Or cheapish. He might be able to get even, like, Rostock as well, which sucks. I should definitely build Magdeburg, since that's going to block Bode. That's important. It also makes it a little cheaper for me to jump into yellow. So I need Magdeburg for sure. It's like Magdeburg, Fulda, Würzburg. I need to get those. But ultimately, it's just not going to do much. I actually could have ended this if had I burned the coal instead. Interesting. Because I'd be guaranteed to have one of the coal plants, one of the oil plants appear. Daroj is the richest player out of all of us, I think. So this bid is making them think now. Indeed. The sad thing is, I'd be a couple bucks short. I'm a couple bucks short of being able to end with 39 at cost. 46 I was hoping would come later. So it turns out my builds getting blocked in step 2 cost me this game. Okay. There's 40. This will be interesting, but I think Stein and Bode both track plants so they know that they're guaranteed to get a safe... Yeah, another safe plant. Stein might end up winning this, actually. I still, like, I don't know where Bode ended up making money. I guess just builds is where he made up the money, because he was pretty far behind money-wise in the early stages of Step 2. Well, we know what Stein has to buy now. And 39 never would have come for me anyway, so... Oh no, 31, that's right. So Stein takes an interesting chance here. He basically saves $1 with 31 compared to 50. Knowing that my cheapest stuff left is oil. Which I will take. Yeah. Am I really going to end up last here? What the fuck? I'm going to try to block both Bode and Stein, though. Like, I can't do any more to block Daroj, realistically. Wow. 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 I ended up last place in this. God damn it. I really thought I was doing well in this game. Huh. So Stein wins over Bode. All right. Bode and daroj actually tied. Wow, Stein won by $1. Holy shit. Okay, really good game for everybody involved. Okay. Well, I feel like I did well in the early game, but I guess this goes to show the danger of cornering yourself. Maybe in this situation I was better off not starting step 2 early and instead just waiting it out, stalling at the bottom of the turn order. I guess that would have been the better play for me, in retrospect. Daroj also made a good point. If I couldn't end the game this turn, then I maybe should have just tried to buy out resources as much as possible, in the hopes that it would prevent other players from ending. Wow, what a game. Stein's decision to buy 31 instead of the 50 actually won it for him, because it cost Bode an extra... It saved $1 for him, but it cost Bode a little extra money too, because of making coal more expensive for him. And that's what made the difference here. Holy shit. Oh, what a game. Really fascinating game. All right. Congrats to Stein, and also Bode and daroj. Super close finish here. Closest we've had on this channel yet, I think, in a multiplayer game. So hope you all enjoyed, and we'll see you later.